Hey there, my name is Pravus and welcome back to more Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiserreich, playing as the United Kingdom. We are going into a new recording session, new week for me. Say hello to my little Gimby boy. Gimby, look at the camera. That's it, you got a good boy. Mwah! Such a cute boy. Anyways, so we are currently trying to work through the reconstruction of our nation, which has been, well, a little bit unpleasant up to this point. It's requiring an ungodly amount of diplomatic power in order to pull that one off. Political power, sorry. We also have the ability to demand Northern Ireland, but I'm not going to be doing that anytime soon. First, we need to be dealing with, let's say, the Soviets over here in Russia. Need to get rid of that. Also, a new war just started down here in South America against Brazil. All right, Gimli, you can't be up here. Sorry, buddy. Ugh. Getting a little too distracting there. All right, so we're sending a bunch of troops down here to Brazil to fight in the jungles once again against Chile and Argentina. Take that out of the picture, maybe we grab a couple more puppet states out of this arrangement, I don't know. But either way, so we're gonna continue trying to rebuild. I will continue making use of jump cuts as seems appropriate in order to make sure that this series continues to grow at a reasonable rate. Because no one wants to sit here and watch me be like, doom bop ba doo, where's my 300 pp, doo bop ba doo. No one wants to do that. It's boring. I would like to be able to take on the Reichsmacht and win, alright? Time for all non-British empires / monarchies to die, right? That'd be kind of fun. We'll see if we can pull that one off. It really just depends to me as far as like whether or not we're gonna have that option in the future. I don't know if we're gonna get any claims or anything like that as we continue, but we should be able to reform the British Empire to some extent or another, so I figure we might as well try. Let's get some land night attack going over there. That would be fine. Brazil would like to join in on a war against Russia. I mean, I would say no. Don't join in on this one. You kind of have your own problems. Please don't send any troops up in this direction. Honestly, the Russians should have fallen by now, but as is typical Russia, even when you push all the way into Moscow and St. Petersburg, they got just enough victory points that they tend to be a little bit of a pain. So we're gonna ignore some of that. Hey, why are you guys... Okay, I don't know why it's acting as if I just got rid of my orders. There we are. So my troops are on the way. They are about halfway there at this point. I did queue up a few railroad construction projects just to try to improve the supply generation in this area at least a little bit. There are some supply hubs in good, convenient locations, so it isn't that bad, but we obviously needed better ways of transporting the materials in the first place. So that's what I'm going for over there. And off come the Entente. Look how many troops are starting to stream over to Brazil. Oh, also, thank you, Norway. I do appreciate that people have been willing to give me a lot of free stuff. All right, the United Kingdom rebuilding effort would take so unbelievably long if I were not getting little bursts of 50 extra PP all the time. I'm saying PP a lot now, by the way, because it slightly amuses me. We could swap over to a war economy, and honestly, that's not a bad idea at this point. I know we want to spend the money on other things, but this is an opportunity to get off of partial mobilization, and I think world tension might be high enough that we'll be able to keep it this way for a while, so we'll see. Westminster Declaration of 1943. The British Parliament has debated a bill for several months now regarding the colonial dominions, such as the Dominion of Canada and the Australasian Confederation, both of which have been de facto independent since the collapse of the United Kingdom in 1926. Ah, good, we can take away people's independence. This is gonna go over well. With the government of the United Kingdom restored, the Dominion's legal status has now been answered by the Declaration. Former Dominions are considered legally independent, free to seek out their own paths in the world, whether that is in the Commonwealth or outside of it, as equals and partners to the United Kingdom. Wait, I'm sorry. We are actually declaring that they are sort of kind of independent? Really? I wanted to say, nope, your vassal states again, your colonies, but okay, that's not what I'm allowed to do. Interesting. Some consider the declaration of recognition of the reality which has existed for more than a decade. Hey, legal recognitions are still important, man. Though even so, it is a definite pin in the cap for the Dominion governments and their desire to see their contributions recognized. All right, that's not the direction I thought this was gonna go, I admit. Returning the favor. What does this do? So, has to be independent, fully independent, in a faction, and remained loyal to the Empire. I think they have to go down a part of their focus tree to decide if they're gonna be loyal to the Empire for me to pick this up, so maybe I can't do anything there. And I'm guessing returning the favor means I'm gonna give them free stuff as a favor for letting us be there, but okay. That'll be fine. The rest of this stuff, these other questions, I think we ignore that for a brief moment. Let's go ahead and fund some additional civilian factories. A whole bunch of those are certainly gonna be good for me. Apparently we just got a lot of political power out of that arrangement because we're back up to 200 when I just spent 150 boosting up my economy with war economy. So that's certainly nice. All right, troops arriving. Good news, not much movement here from Argentina and from Brazil. They got a pretty good number of troops over here, though. Let's take a look at those supply lines. Okay, they're holding together fairly well off in this direction. It's not bad. We can hover over the supply lines and see exactly what train route they are using, and this is about what I might have expected. Let's just double check, though. Yeah, so we can boost this up, for example, to level 3. And building railroads is fairly fast in this game. It really doesn't take that long, so we can try for that. And then maybe boost up some of this as well. Get this all up to being level 3. And I'm gonna move all of this down to the bottom, rearrange that, and we'll just go ahead and build this. I know we're gonna have a flood of troops in a minute. The Entente, when they get involved, they really get involved. So I wanna make sure that we have plenty of supply to deal with all of that. We will need to have most of our troops probably, honestly, along here. And we'll have a small group up over this direction as well. Let's take a bunch of you guys, move you here. The rest down here, and the goal will be to cut up toward Paraguay, so that we can cut off some of the Argentinian troops and then just start working our way down toward Cordoba, wherever else it's going to be. Buenos Aires eventually will fall as well. We got enough numbers that this should have been a suicidal war for the Third Internationale, but apparently syndicalists, filthy syndicalists, just don't go down easy, dang it. They just refuse. But that's fine. Makes sense to me. I'm good with it. So we only have 25 civilian factories right now. Total of 86 here, by the way. Only 23 military factories. We are weak as frick still, but you know, what you gonna do? Let's trade with our friends over in the Netherlands, make sure we are still producing our planes at maximum possible efficiency. How are they doing over against the Russian Socialist Republic? It seems to be mostly a stalemate. Well, get them, Ukraine. I'm not gonna be sending my own troops to actually help you in your war against Russia, but you got all the moral support in the world, man. Let's see. Do you want to go for a flexible line or a streamlined line? I generally prefer the streamlines for the efficiency growth, though at this stage of the game, retention's not bad. It would allow me to swap over to things pretty well. This would be a little bit cheaper as well. I mean, I like the growth, but you know what? For once, let's actually go for flexible line. Let's just go ahead and retain a bunch of efficiency, so when I swap over something, it won't be so bad. We actually do want to continue investing in the IEDC because it does get me stronger benefits the more that you contribute. Liberty Day, once again. IEDC advisors, we're going to go for the consumer goods or the construction. We'll go for consumer goods. I guess that's going to be fine. And do we want to go for more civilian industry for another chunk of factories? I guess we could. But instead, I'd rather reduce the Army and Chaos modifier we have right now, because that is obviously affecting my ability to deploy my troops and actually have them fight at full peak efficiency. So let's get rid of that. Hey, there's a bunch of naval invasions going on from Canada. Well done, my friends. My buddy, my guy. Let's go ahead and make a push. What happened in Tokyo? Who's fighting Tokyo? Hold on. The German Empire has grabbed Korea and is now landing in Japan. Oh, well, that's interesting. Okay, the Australasian Confederation may not have anything to worry about on the end of Japan, it turns out. Okay, that would be interesting now, wouldn't it? We do want to contribute to some of these fights if we can, so let's go ahead and send our troops in there. Not that we have a lot here, the reserves are pretty bad, and our combat wit's terrible, our reinforce rate is taking a while to actually take effect, but once we get in there, we can start doing a little damage. I am sending out some planes to try and assist as best as they can. Why are some of them even up here? The frickin' heck? Pardon? It's because they're following some of these troops over here who are slowly making their way up to the front line. I obviously do not want my fighters in close air support over here. That's dumb. Please get up this direction. And we will control this manually for a little bit. So y'all can stop being stupid. Thank you, British India. That was a lot of political power. 100? Heck yes, man. All right, so we're gonna go for some business subsidies. Never hurts to just go ahead and print a load of money and give it off to your best business performers, am I right? That never has any economic repercussions whatsoever. Let's see, we've already got some upgrades, so we have medium tank chassis now available. I'm gonna go for some extra resource gain efficiency. We're about to finish up dispersed industry, which gets me even more factory output, loving that. And then, could actually go for nuclear reactors, and I think we will, on the off chance that ends up being useful against, say, the Germans at some point or another. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, I don't know. We do want to attack them here. Let's have all of you guys get over this direction and try to hit over here, knock these guys out. That'll just cut off a couple of troops. And then for the most part, honestly, your front lines are dumb. Let's just go ahead and push like this. Gotta get around mountain ranges, unfortunately. But Buenos Aires has already been taken, so I mean, the Canadians have done a pretty good job going for a naval invasion that's really gonna mess with some of them. How are we doing on supply? Surprisingly okay considering. It's not too bad. The most important thing is that we do continue snagging any of these supply points like this, so we can control as much flow of supply as possible. Tanks, let's try to snag this air base. And then we have another chunk of fighters. All of you guys should already be over here doing your thing. For some reason, though, did we actually lose an airbase? We must have lost an airbase because I no longer have this. I've been trying to build out some of this airbase over here, but we're grossly overpacked. All right, well, that's probably going to be fine. I don't think this war is really going to be an issue, so I'm going to let that mostly go on autopilot while I just continue doing my thing over here. Logistically speaking, how are we doing? We've got some support equipment and artillery and stuff. You know what we should do is either get... I actually haven't checked my templates, have I? I just realized that we got a whole bunch of new templates when we swapped over to Britain, and most of them are terrible. We don't even have engineers. Yeah, hang on. Everyone stop attacking. My troops are now here for moral support. This is actually going to be terrible. Hold the phone. So what about, like, our tanks and stuff? We've got decent-ish tank divisions. Or guard cavalry? Maybe this is what I have. I can't tell because the symbols are exactly the same. Let's swap you out for something else. I don't really care what. Let's just make sure. Did that swap? Okay, so we didn't have any light tank divisions. We have the cavalry. And then we have these guys, the militia home guard units. We're going to swap them over to a common infantry template. And then we need to update this. I've got some experience that we should make use of. Let's go for engineers for sure. I guess cavalry recon's okay for now. I don't like these guys being at 16 combat width. We could toss on some artillery and bring them up to, let's say, 22. Not really the most efficient, but this does still leave me enough equipment to continue working here. I don't like 22 combat width. That's obviously terrible. We could pop off some of the infantry and instead toss on, let's say, some anti-air. But what is anti-air really going to do for me when I think about it? It gets me a little bit of piercing value. It's not so bad. This is an okay-ish division. It's not very good, but it's okay. I'm going to do that. That's a generalist template that I can use in a lot of ways. It's got decent-ish soft attack, decent organization. It's got some anti-air. I can use this and set it and forget it for a lot of the game, and this will still do the job in a lot of cases. It's not outstanding, but it will do the job. So we'll go for that. Let's go ahead and widen out this front line so we can just kind of spread out some of our use of supply. Something like this will probably be fine. Still haven't managed to take this, which kind of surprises me. We are reforming the British Army. Excellent, which means we get rid of some of the negative downsides we had here. We also get a Chief of Army for some of that experience gain. Lovely. I also now am up to 174 Army experience, even better. Let's see, do we want division attrition, entrenchment speed, and defense? Do we want attack value, or do we want organization and supply consumption? Truth be told, I think I'm going to go for the organization. I think that's going to be fine. We could go for the question of syndicalist recruits. We could also do a new call to arms, boosting up our war support. Could also reform a few other things. I want to get toward this. The retraining effort, get rid of Army and Chaos and replace it with Fuller's Army, which gets me some pretty awesome boosts. So let's go for the question of the syndicalist soldiers. Let's also go to our doctrines and toss in Mechanized Offensive. Not that I'm making much use of this, but it will let me start producing some awesome tanks, mechanized, motorized, whatever else, and start actually doing some good stuff with them. Because remember, we do want to start moving toward a mechanized army, and in fact, I have the ability to spend some of my experience and make these really cheap. Like, really cheap. So I can just start rushing through all these ram kangaroos, which is an awesome name. They won't be that much more expensive than motorized, but it does cost a lot of army experience to do that. How much longer until I can research the last level? 1944? Rather than spend my XP making Mechanized 2s cheaper, I'd rather spend it on Mechanized 3 since we're not that far away from being able to use that, so that's what we're going to do. This territory has been taken, that's good. I do think we can take at least a couple of you guys and move you down over here, which it looks like is what you're already doing. And then the rest of you, all 5 of you, get assigned here, that'll be fine. Okay, so we're just gonna sit here and entrench for a little bit, wait for my supplies to get back into the field. So far, everything's looking fine. You guys need to be set to a motorized supply system so that we can actually make sure we get our supply a bit faster. And sure enough, we are now having supply issues down over here. That's not really surprising, but there's not a lot that I can easily do about it shy of building up some new supply centers. We're gonna have to steal some of theirs, preferably this, and then join it up. I could do something like this. Yeah, we could do something like this. And when this is available, join these up. And that would be a way of trying to get a little bit of extra supply. That said, we probably should also consider joining, let's say, this up. Boosting that, and then also boosting you. Right? I think that'll be fine. That'll let me kind of build this all up and actually get some serious supply up to the front line a little bit faster. Fighting in the jungles, man, it's like fighting in China. You just don't do it. You don't do it unless you got some outrageous air support. And I got some, but it's never gonna end up being enough. The question of syndicalist recruits. Now that the British Army is back on its feet, there's a whole line of men waiting to enlist or re-enlist, considering many of them once served in the Union of Britain's forces. The question is, do we take those men back? Many of them were likely just doing what they were told, yes, but surely there are some syndicalist sympathizers among them. Pure recruits would give me division recovery rate and stability. That's pretty good. Take some for manpower. I'm right on that. And then, okay, you know what? I can afford to have less manpower right now. I know we want to train a lot of troops, but what kind of recruitment law am I looking at right now? We're still only on limited conscription. I can get a lot more manpower if I simply don't take them, and I'd rather just have quality right now. Plus, this is just enough political power that I can enact the final farming subsidy, and then we can get rid of the whole post-war devastation entirely. That's what I'd rather do, so that's what we're gonna do. Now let's see if we can snag this territory, making use of my tanks, even if they are technically in some forest terrain, not jungle. And that will grab this supply hub, which I will then go ahead and connect, a couple of times. And once this is built, which should not take very long, we will find that we have a fair bit more supply up in this direction, which will let me push all the way up through Santiago del Estero, which would be fantastic. So what else do we go for our national focus? You know, I really wouldn't mind going for something like the Royal Air Force, just so we can get that XP, but also because I'm pretty sure it's going to give me another Chief of Air Force. And since each of these guys are going to give me daily experience, the faster I get this, the more value I get out of them. So to me, that just makes a lot of sense. I like that these guys are starting to lose a lot of organization and take some damage. That's great. Are you guys at war? Paraguay? Oh, Paraguay's at war. Oh, hello. Hi, how are you? Would you like to join my faction? I don't have the option to make you join? That's unfortunate. Okay. Well, I mean, you're at war with the same people, so they're gonna actually start making some pushes over here too, but that's fantastic. That just makes my life easier. Thank you, Norway! Man, I hope we keep getting this free political power even after we're done with all of this. That would be amazing. Oh, look at how much this has changed some of the supply. Look at this. Getting this all set up has made a huge difference off over here. Fantastic. Now, of course, my allies are still moving units around all willy-nilly over here, which is going to cause some issues. That's probably fine, though. There are naval bases. What we could do is boost up, let's say, a naval base here. And then try to boost up the railways this way as well. Which, yeah, that's probably wise. Let's go ahead and start boosting all that up. We want to make sure we can supply all of this. I like, by the way, having... Oh, Canada has landed all the way down in the southern tip over here, too. Fantastic. Iraq joined the Reichspakt? That's not good. Anyway, no, this is actually really good. I like being able to build in my vassals' territory, you know? If I'm willing to commit my construction resources toward the front lines, why would anyone tell me no? Just makes sense. Hey, railway guns, I don't know if you guys are able to go anywhere. Are you able to leave here, or are you, like, permanently stuck here in Britain? Can we put you on a boat? I don't know that we can. It'd be nice if we could, but I don't know that we can. Oh, well. There's the Royal Air Force. Who would I like for this one? We could go for naval agility and stuff. All right. Interception, air superiority, that could be good. Encirclement penalty? No, thank you. And then close air support. I'm going to go for the air superiority because if I am going to be fighting against, let's say, German Empire at some point in the future, I'm going to want to be able to fight their planes, though obviously it's more useful to have ground support right now. Let's see. Nighttime, strategic bombing, escort efficiency. I don't know which one I would really want, to be honest. None of those are outstanding. I think we're going to go for just some day bombing or something like that. Maybe escort efficiency at some point becomes helpful to me. Whatever, I have no idea. Collapse of the Japanese Empire. Alright, so that just happened. Germany has taken all of this territory. We're going to see if they keep it or release a puppet. I imagine they will, but that means Japan is now sitting in the Germans' pocket. That scares me a little bit. Hello, Mexico. You look very syndicalist to me. Well, once this is all done, I might just say, screw it, let's go take out Mexico, because that would be kind of fun for me. Anyways, planes, you guys should all now be able to simply follow along with this guy and be fine. Let's go ahead and see if we can launch a few probing attacks in a few key spots, see how that's going, how are we doing in supply. All right, down over here, obviously Canada's struggling in the very south, but that's fine. I'm trying to make some pushes up here to the north, but Paraguay just cut me off, so I can't actually do anything over there. All right, so once again, we're going to have some fun issues with our borders getting all messed up, our front lines getting all messed up. Let's start by trying to push up here to Mendoza and see how we can do with that. This war should be pretty much already over. It's decided. Now it's just a matter of actually weathering the storm. I am, by the way, very much looking forward to unleashing these submarines at some point in the future. I mean, we got submarine 3s, right? And one thing you should, by the way, do with these guys, always set them to always engage. I learned this recently, thanks to a Reddit post on this. I had no idea, but it's very interesting. Apparently, if you have large death stacks of submarines, and even one of them gets detected, the entire fleet becomes revealed, which is the primary way that your AI enemy is able to suddenly sink all of your previously hidden submarines. But if you, 1, have them broken up into smaller groups, 2, place them in deep seas where they're less likely to get detected, and 3, set them to always engage, only 1 or 2 will appear as they start shooting down the enemies because they go on the offensive. So only 1 or 2 are visible, not the entire fleet, greatly reducing your chance of casualties. That's what I've been told on that one, and I'm going to choose to believe that it is, in fact, true. All right, let's see. June of 1943. We should probably continue getting some additional upgrades for some companies. I wouldn't mind getting logistics, even though I'm not using them anywhere. What about artillery? Oh, yeah, 40% reduction, and this only take 50 days. Let's get better artillery. That's way better. I am going to swap us over to an extensive conscription law at this point, which does increase training time, but that's fine. We'll start getting a lot more manpower we can work with here pretty soon. Let's take a look at these mechanized divisions, by the way. I probably want to update these. If we were to toss in motorized artillery, we could make these into pretty darn devastating forces. 40 organization's pretty decent. That's strong organization, really good soft attack, and this is going to be so much cheaper than any of the tank divisions that I'll be able to make, so I'd like to go for that. We will want to create also... Did I not create flaming? Let's start with this for now. Hang on. I'm pretty sure I designed... Yeah... There it is. This advanced light tank that I designed here is a flamethrower variant, but for some reason I'm not allowed to attach that to anything, which doesn't feel right. Where are my flamethrower divisions? I'm not crazy on that, right? I should be able to... Am I missing a company? I thought it was like Engineering 2. Yeah, Engineering 2 creates this, the light flame tank companies. Why am I not allowed to attach light flame tanks onto my armies? I only see armored recon on here. Is this a bug in Kaiserreich? Oh, wait. I'm an idiot. Hang on. I need to click on this. I'm pretty sure... Yeah, I forgot to do this. Okay, you have to actually designate them as a support company here for that to work. I forgot that that was a thing. Okay, unfortunately, that means that all the tanks that I have been making are useless. I've been producing really cheap flamethrower tanks that can only go in the actual light tank slot. Well, that's hilarious. Anyways, so now those are set. As I start producing them, that's gonna be the light flame tank that I wanted to have. Oopsie daisy, oh well. Mistakes do happen on occasion. Okay, here comes the reformed Royal Navy. I think I am going to be going for the submarine attack, defense, and raiding efficiency. Screen defense is okay as well. Don't think we care about special forces for amphibious invasions. And max range, you know, there's something to be said about that too, but we got allies all over the world. So I'm going to go ahead and just make our Navy even better. Okay, so with that taken care of, new call to arms for base war support seems fine. Go ahead and pick that up, plus a bunch more manpower we'll get for free. Now I get a naval doctrine, submarine surface detection, and raiding efficiency, and organization, and torpedo reveal chance. Get down to this point, and now we have basically invincible sub-3s, as long as they have the snorkel, which mine do. So yeah, if I decide to unleash my Navy on some folks, small groups of submarines should be able to do a ridiculous amount of disproportionate damage against the German Empire. I am pretty sure, could be wrong, but pretty sure that even with just 28 subs, I might be able to take out the German Empire's Navy. Sounds crazy, but it's true. Ireland declares war on Northern Ireland. What just happened? Pardonnez-moi? Hold up, Northern Ireland is about to get... Northern Ireland broke free on their own. And no wonder I no longer have the option to actually click the button. Huh. I think if I click this right now, it's going to mess everything up, so I'm just going to have to let them fight their little civil war. But if there was ever a thematic casus belli right there, saying, hey, the people of Northern Ireland clearly want to be a part of the United Kingdom again, you're clearly oppressing them, this might be the time. So yeah, I'll let them do this, and then it might be time to say, mine now instead. Don't get excited, Belfast is British. Let's see what happens with that. Click the button. Boom. I've demanded it. You just conquered it back. I'm going to say, nope, me. All right, let's go for retraining efforts, which is going to make everything good, including, by the way, better mechanized and cheaper mechanized. Yeah, I'm starting to think mechanized armies is going to be the way to go here. We could toss in some medium tanks. If I get enough factories, we'll do that, but I'm still very behind from a factory thing. Ireland refuses. No, I'm gonna have the decision to now invade Ireland. And when we do that, we declare war. Now, this is scary because, of course, the independence of Ireland is currently being guaranteed and my troops are all out of position. So we're not gonna use this right away. But it does mean when the opportunity comes, we're gonna freaking go for it. Let's by the way go over here and just take Santiago. Some of you guys try to get around and hit from this direction. Let's just go ahead and snag this. Looks like Argentina has fallen. We'll be done with this in no time at all. There goes Chile, and now we are left with these guys. Canada has a lot of power. Are they gonna defer to me? Because this should be an exclusively Entente-ish kind of war, right? Let's deny Paraguay, however you want to say that, from getting any of this territory. Obviously, I need to create a puppet state, though. Pass. Okay, Brazil took some territory of their own. That's a little expansionist of you, and I don't really appreciate it, but all right. We'll go for it. Let's start by snagging Chile if we can, and we'll make sure we can turn them into a proper puppet. There we go. Interestingly, by the way, this is also my way of snagging the Falkland Islands again. Kind of fun. Do I get to just simply bypass that focus? Because there was this, the Falklands question, which it says I can still do. I can just bypass the event. Done. All right, so now we have the Falklands. I'm not giving that up. That is mine. Thank you very much. Restore order in the Falklands. Yeah, it's only 25 power to gain cores on some of this. Sure, I'll take that. That sounds great. Could reintegrate Malta as well, but we're not going to worry about that right now. Let's do a quick royal address to the Entente, and then we're going to be getting some pop-ups in just a moment saying, would you like to release a couple of people? The Syrian state just got annexed by the German Empire. The Germans are going gun-ho right now, and I'll tell you what, I'm not feeling very comfortable with that. Not feeling comfortable at all. Let's go ahead and start producing a frick ton of mechanized. It's time. We need a lot of mechanized. I need a lot of rubber as well, but that's fine. We'll get there. How many more factories I got? Oh, some of these factories are about to go away, though, right? Where's my event? There it is. Fate of Chile. We could occupy these guys and just accept that we're permanently going to lose a lot, but let's not. Let's go ahead and liberate them under a friendly government, and Argentina as well. Make them into a new puppet. Boom. There we go. All right, we got some market liberals. Market liberalism for the win. We will spread neoliberalism by force. By God. This is fan-flippin-tastic. Oh, by the way, 1944, we're almost there. Let's go ahead and, first let's get the mechanized, but then we're gonna go for fighters level 3. Better close air support and stuff like that. We need to start transitioning full-time into military. I'm actually building out a lot of civilian factories. I got 61 now, so I'm starting to do a lot. Let's go ahead and start queuing up a whole mess of military factories and get ready to mobilize the frick out of the United Kingdom. I still don't think I can mobilize faster than the Germans, but I got a lot of buddies right now. I got a lot of buddies in this Entente, so... And also, if the United States is starting to get somewhere... I mean, how many troops they got? 157? Dude, if I bring the US in on something, they're gonna be in really good shape. Yeah, this is gonna work for me. All right, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.